Beautiful Kate Ceberano, and we're here to answer the questions that you posed to us some weeks ago from our time back in Sydney.
Feels like 100 years has passed.
Here we are in the Palatial, by the way, beautiful
Princess
Theatre
and
in
it's
Melbourne.
180 years old. It's one of the oldest theatres in the country.
Absolutely beautiful, and we're very blessed to be here for a whole 10 weeks.
I'm very blessed to be here with you.
Oh, Kate Ceberano.
We've become very, very good friends, and actually just looking at a video that he'd shot with his previous Nellie, I feel like
Sam.
Sam. I'm coffee to her cream.
Yes, absolutely. So anyway, here we go with some questions that you've posed to us, and I think, Kate, you've got one for me to start with from Joyce Dangmeyer.
Joyce Dankmeyer.
Dankmeyer.
Yeah, if you don't mind,
Sorry,
Garforth.
Joyce.
Koek is a real Dutch name. Is this your real surname or is it your stage name?
Joyce, this is actually my real name. My dad was born in Holland, and he immigrated with his parents when he was 3. So
There you
Daniel
are.
Koek is my real name.
I was actually pronouncing it as Koek before I met you.
Yeah.
I'm sure that most people do.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so you've got a question for me?
I've got one for you, Kate. This is from Kirsten Lewis. Kate, what was it like coming into this production, having not done musical theatre for so long?
Yeah.
Kirsten still has her Jesus Christ Superstar program at home.
Oh, wow. Well, officially, I suppose I haven't really even done musical theatre in the traditional sense because Superstar was staged in an arena. We had 16 to 18,000 people a night, so it was more like a rock concert.
Wow. Yeah.
I think that the marriage of the acting and then music, the fact that you're with a live orchestra and a live audience, all combined to making it a very terrifying experience, one of which you have to really kind of knuckle down and kind of get disciplined about how you're going to deal with doing it 8 nights a week.
Yeah.
Having said that, Kirsten, I do love it. In fact, I'm becoming a little bit addicted, and it's put me in really good stead because I'm the curator for the Adelaide Cabaret Festival to better understand, of course, all the Broadway artists that we're bringing over, soon to also be all of the European stars of musical theatre as well.
Yeah. Great. Good answer, Kate. Here's one for both of us from Jessica Marie Dafter.
Oh, yes.
What's it like to be in South Pacific with such great cast and crew?
Well, would you agree?
I would agree.
That it's absolutely stunning because I think the casting for, at least I haven't seen the British version, had seen the New York version, and all of which were absolutely sublime as well. But for Australia, I think this particular casting is very unique.
It's very unique casting.
Yeah.
It kind of pulls from different pools of talent and walks of life even.
Yeah.
And the crew, the hats off to the crew, because actually when we were in Sydney, they got this production in and out of the Opera House kind of in the space of hours, didn't they?
Yeah, actually we bonded very well as a crew and cast. I think sometimes, when you're working in a big organisation, you can tend to lose that sort of personal touch with your crew. But I think right from the get-go, all of us understood that each of us had to help each other, and then it's kept us in good stead because we've been asked to do a lot of things, I think, outside the realms of the normal kind of contribution.
Yeah.
Like we'll be performing for the Helpman next week.
That's fun. We just had a little rehearsal for that.
We did.
South Pacific condensed into 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
But I would personally like to say that Neil Rutherford, I think, who is the casting director, really is a genius.
Yeah, I would say so as well. He has a beautiful vision for different takes on characters as well, which is great. Because a lot of casting directors can have like tunnel vision of what they want. They want to just replicate, and he's not like that.
No, I think he's taken a lot of risks, and I think because of it, we'll see a whole new public in Australia for musical theatre, which is always a healthy thing.
Yeah. Here's another question for both of us from Louise Vella. Any post-show before you go on stage and warming up, and how do you keep every performance so fresh?
Right.
Well, we do a little physical and vocal warm-up before we go on, don't you?
But mostly the thing that Dan and I do is just hang out with each other.
We just hang out and laugh.
And laugh, because laughing's got to be the best warm-up. And my God, you are the funniest guy. No one makes me laugh like Dan makes me laugh.
Actually, can I tell you, viewers at home, which is gonna actually eat into Kirsten Wisson's question from Gawler, dear friend of mine. Have you ever had a giggling fit on stage or just before you're about to go on?
Oh no, I know.
Now,
I hate being known as
the answer to this
first
is yes,
one.
because Kate loves to do a little warm up in the wings, where she, dressed as Bloody Mary and all of her paraphernalia, she gets her leg up on a thing and proceeds to stretch in some kind of like antenatal bloody stretching thing.
It happened once, viewers. to which he happened to get a glimpse of
Got a glimpse
from
of
a
Kate
very
with her leg up,
strange
yeah.
angle, and he got the giggles. But
I got the giggles in a big
I
way
have to go down in history for the show for being the first one
to really laugh.
No, on stage.
Yeah.
What's that horrible word they use in theatre?
Corpsing.
I can't even say it out loud because I don't want it to become a part of my vernacular.
Yeah.
It sucks. And it's because he looked at me
I
from
fell
across
over
the stage. He fell over, first of all.
Yeah.
And then I watched his nostril in his efforts to try to withhold giggles. His nostrils flaring, and of course I was gone.
Yeah.
It was
Gone like
horrible.
that.
Anyway. Oh, I
Hang
know
on.
Adam Gypsy Novello.
Oh, do you?
Novello. He's gorgeous.
Okay, so Adam says, if you had the chance to work with your all-time favourite musical theatre performer, who would it be? This is for you.
My all-time musical theatre performer.
Who is it?
From any decade.
From any decade, from any era.
Gene Kelly.
Yeah, I got you there.
Gene Kelly. I have a... you have a little bit of what I admired most about him. He was like a man-child. He was like this boy in a capsule, and like really full of life and love. And actually, he didn't seem to be built like you're very tall.
Yeah.
You're a very tall and sort of strapping sort of young man. Normally, musical theatre guys can tend to be quite petite.
Yeah.
And I think you break the mould, and he broke the mould.
Yeah.
He didn't.
And he was also passionate about his art. I think a lot of people, as they get to the end of their career, because he had a very long and illustrious career, they kind of lose the spark for it. And I think, if anything, he went the other way.
I think so too.
And got more fiery about it.
Oh, and he was so beautiful.
Yeah, he was a
that
handsome
smile, That smile.
Any more questions? Let's have a look. Let's scroll down. There's quite a few. We're going to pick out the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
Questions for both. Have you ever been to Kauai in Hawaii?
Kauai.
Kauai in Hawaii.
Most definitely.
Where many of the South Pacific movie scenes were filmed. I haven't personally, but Kate,
My family are from Kauai. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I considered the audition for this role, because I hadn't done a lot of auditions for musical theatre. Actually, that's not true. Do you know, I actually auditioned for Spike Lee when I was in New York.
Oh, you did?
For Rent.
You've been great in Rent.
Actually, and he was considering it because the guy he was working with as his music supervisor wrote my first hit, which was Bedroom Eyes. So
which is a great hit.
we were all in agreement, but then I don't think Spike went on to make the movie. I'm not quite certain what happened. Anyway, blah blah blah. I go on, and to answer your question, the only reason why I considered South Pacific after so many years, because I thought, well, there's a casting that seems to suit me, and also because the Hawaiian connection and the fact that my father had been asked to be cast for the production as well, and the only reason why he didn't was he went to join the Marines.
Yeah.
So it all sort of like this very circular story.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I think it'd be rude not to head over there before, as a bit of a sojourn. Let's go visit your family.
Well, you in Hawaii, for a start, you're just going to absolutely, because you're a boy of leisure and luxury, we just got to get him to, like with the Princeton and have you lay down out there on that lovely white sand.
What are those massages you're getting? Lomi Lomi?
Lomi Lomi.
Yeah, I need that.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. We have to do that.
Here's one last one from Tommy Luke Schroeder. I'm loving the fact it's a Kate and Dan video. Can we expect a duet between you both soon?
Well, it's funny you should mention it.
You won't be able to shut us up soon.
Yes, well, actually, as I said, one of the greatest things about being the curator of the Adelaide Cabaret Festival is I get to give my mates gigs. And so, and Dan's just released, as you all know, and you'll probably know more about this, an album. And I know he's been dying to get into his own material after having spent 400 some shows performing South Pacific night in night. And it's an intense, like an intense concentration just to do one series of songs every single night. So we will be presenting him. It's not released. Oh, shit, I shouldn't have even said it.
Oh, that's okay.
Maybe he might not. Maybe we may have an argument before then.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee...
So. Then we'll patch it up and we'll come back with a vengeance.
I can't imagine we will.
Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's highly likely that I'll be at the Adelaide Cabaret Festival.
And in saying that 2 duets, how could we keep apart?
Yeah, exactly.
They'd have to get a hose onto us.
Yeah, well, they have to some nights. Anyway, guys, thanks for presenting your questions to us. We've really enjoyed answering them here in this beautiful foyer of the Princess Theatre.
Yeah.
So who are we going to give a free copy of our albums to as a prize, Kate? Which questions would we like the best?
Oh, dear. Well, listen, I would like very much to offer this friend of mine, Adam Gypsy. He's certainly been a great fan for a very long time,
Right.
and I don't want to pull you out of the group that, all of you are very deserving, but I would like to give him an album.
Absolutely. Adam, a copy of my album and a copy of Kate's album coming your way.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Signing off.